Hello, everybody. We are day 5. We made it to day 5 of this 5-day workshop challenge, whatever you're seeing it as. And this is the day we're going to put it all together. What I have done over the past 4 days is to walk you through the 4 main phases of the lunar cycle and how you can use journaling via the scripting method with song lyrics as your journal prompts or as your inspiration to script your ideal life, your experiences, the person that you are becoming into reality, just like a script from a TV show or a movie or play. It gets your brain thinking and visualizing and becoming more, having your future, the future you desire, more normalized and tangible in a sense, because you can start filling in the details and you can start seeing yourself in these circumstances. So today might be quite short because what I'm going to share with you today, exercise that you can use moving forward. You can do this now. You can do this at the new moon. You can do this at your birthday, quarterly, any combination of those, and how you can incorporate what we've learned into your work with the lunar cycles. The key focus of this process is making yourself the focus. And with the new moon, what do you want? How do you want to feel? With the first quarter moon, what action can you take? And even what boundary can you set? Because that is an action. At the full moon, what are your shadows? What are you learning about yourself? At the third quarter moon, how can you imagine a new way forward, a new way of being based on what you have learned and the information that you've gotten from the actions that you have taken? So it always, at least the way that I work with this self-improvement thing, comes back to you. It always comes back to you and what you can do, what you are learning, what your stories are, so that you can use that information to make the changes that you desire. And this overall concept is what I refer to as manifesting me. And this is an ongoing basis, which is why it works so well with the lunar cycle, because we never stop doing the work of manifesting me, because we're changing, we're growing, we're evolving, we're learning about ourselves. So it's always an ongoing process. And sometimes there's big changes, and sometimes it's merely allowing ourselves to normalize loving the things that we're loving the fact that life is good, loving the fact that we want more of what we already have, and learning how to make that our new normal, your new normal, in whatever case that is. So today is also a little bit about show and tell, because I have a couple ways to share with you of how you can take this work going forward. But before I get into all that, I'm going to share my exercise with you, my practice. And if you are writing this down, write out manifesting me as the top part of your caption or your title for this project, because what I want you to do is to write out in script form your character, so to speak, of the script, your character development, what you want yourself to show up, how you want yourself to show up in the world. So when we think of stories, like even books, there is a background, there is some depth, there's some information that we are given as to the characters, and we learn more about them along the way. So start writing out yourself as a character. What's your background? A little bit, just very like bullet points of what your background is. But what I really urge you to focus on with this manifesting me journaling practice is the you, the badass you, the rock star you that just most amazing avatar of yourself that you have in your brain, or the way that you wish you showed up in the world, the way that you wish you responded to people, the way that you would just be like, yes, I am a badass. I am that amazing. Start writing that out about yourself. And you can take this from small to big. And I encourage you to include details of how you dress. What are the clothes that you love to be wearing day to day? Who are the people that you hang out with on a day-to-day basis? Who is your circle? What are your favorite things to do? What are your belief systems? How do you make decisions? There are so many facets to you that this is like a deep dive, but in future sense. And if you haven't caught on, or if you haven't caught prior videos as to what scripting is, you are writing out the story you want to be living, but you're writing it out in the present tense, like you're writing the script of a movie or a TV show. And you can always come back and edit it. Write out this script of you. What's your character? What are the things you like to do on a day-to-day basis? What are the vacations you like to take? What are the foods that you like to eat? Write as much about yourself in your ideal existence as you can. And this is a great practice to maybe do at the new moon or just before the new moon to help you identify an intention based on how you want to feel. Because as you write out this script of you, this character development, if you will start to identify feelings like, oh my gosh, that would feel, I would feel so confident if I was actually able to show up in the world like this. I would feel excited. I feel fulfilled in my script. And you can use that information, that feeling that is coming up for you as your intention through the next lunar cycle. And so by focusing on yourself, continually working on yourself and becoming the person that you are writing about, you by default automatically affect all aspects of your life. You start to show up differently. People notice, people respond to you differently. You attract new people and circumstances and opportunities into your life. You notice that you start responding differently than the old version of you because you are practicing first in writing and then in becoming that version of you that has all of your desires. And then it just keeps inspiring more and more things that you want, more and more things that you want to amplify that are going well in your life. So this is why this manifesting me is all encompassing. By focusing on yourself, you affect every area of your life. And then by taking into account the lunar cycle and the zodiac sign for each new moon, it gives you a possible focus to work on, an energy to work with, an area of your life, something that you want to call in or use as a checkpoint. Because the zodiac calendar is just like a Gregorian calendar. With the months of the year, the zodiac repeats every year, just like the calendar does. So you can work on every aspect of your life, following the flow provided by Mother Nature and the skies every single year. So there's no need to rush or feel like you're behind or feel like you're burning yourself out because you have too many focuses. Just focus on what is being presented to you. Everyone has access to working with the moon. Everyone has access. It's free and available to you. The zodiac and the energies that are around for everybody. So before I start going too far off course, I am going to tell you, once you get this avatar, this character development, this main person in your song or in your story, get that person, start that development process. You will fine tune it. you will make edits to this as well, just like you make edits to your story, because you're a human and you're growing and you're evolving and you're becoming different versions of yourself. So new things become important. People, that you associate with change voluntarily or involuntarily. So keep this as a living document for yourself, like a living, ongoing script. And if you start doing this on whatever regularity works for you, I expect, because what I experienced is that you will find it takes the pressure off. It becomes fun. And when you hit those challenging parts, you just know it's just part of the story. It's not going to last forever. There's a lesson here. There's a plot twist. There's something to come out of this. And you start to embody this sense of knowing, like, I know it's going to work out. So something that seems so basic, like writing out the story of your life, has so many profound effects on multiple layers. So go ahead, make yourself the star of your own show. Make yourself the rock star of your life, because you're worthy of that. That is what you're here to do, to experience life to the best and the most on whatever level you want to be experiencing it. Hey there, manifestors. It's Patty. I'm just jumping in here with this voiceover because the video at this point was quite jumbled and it was really hard to hear. So I decided to cut it out, and I am going to jump you back into the video at a point where I am sharing my Manifesting Me program. And I'm jumping you back in where I am sharing the worksheets and walking you through all of the components of what is included. And I'm going to be showing you information starting with the Aries new moon. And just know that what I said in the video that was cut out is that all of these same components are included for every single new moon throughout the year. So here you go, right back into it. Okay, so here's the worksheet itself. So it gives you the element, all these components that you can choose to incorporate with your new moon work or not. It then gives you a space. If you are old enough to remember what Mad Libs are, this is kind of what inspired this, this part of the worksheet. So since the element is fire, if you're going to incorporate working with fire at this, your new moon work, you can write down there what it is that you're going to use. Are you going to use a candle? Are you going to use a piece of cinnamon or cinnamon, powder, the spice? Are you going to use some incense, burning the incense? What represents fire? What is, maybe it's a sign or a picture of Aries, right? Or a picture of fire. Whatever you can find or that resonates with you. It could be a crystal. It could be a picture. It could be a word. You could just simply envision the energy of fire and see how that lends itself, what information that provides to you for setting your intention or how you want to work with your intention at the new moon. You could have a little carvable, if you will. I'm knocking things over here. I don't have a ram, but I do have, and there's no zodiac signs that are represented by an elephant, but you could have like a little carving of a ram, of out of a red crystal, whatever it is that you have or that you feel called to use. And you can incorporate what you're going to write down there. So like for Mars, what might represent Mars? It could be a picture of Mars. It could be a oracle card that relates to Mars. It could be a picture of the god Mars. Whatever works for you. You jot down your notes there. And then the third page is for you to write down your notes, to write down your intentions, to write down the components and how you're using them. Maybe you doodle how you want to feel or things that make you feel the way you want to feel for this intention. You might write down things that you're going to do actions you're going to take to help you cultivate and nurture and really cement and manifest that feeling for yourself on a regular basis. So that is the 3-page worksheet. And a really cool thing about something like this is either you can print out the worksheets, or you could write in your own journal or lunar journal, whatever the case is. You could keep this as an ongoing documentation of your work, of your intentions, of the things that you learned, and you can incorporate your scripting in there with your lunar, your lunar journal or whatever the case is. It's a really great way to document what you do from month to month and from year to year, and you can see how you grow, how you expand, how you change. What new practices and activities do you move to, and are there ones that you come back to? It becomes a living document of your experiences in a completely unique way, not just by journaling and not just by making lists or whatever, but it's a completely unique and personalizable way to document your experiences and your path and your journey. So that is one way. And that is repeatable. So if you get this program, you can jump in at any new moon and you can come back to it as often as you like. You can work through it every lunar cycle, every year. And there's no wrong time. And there's nothing to miss because it's all DIY. The recorded lessons are there for you. And to be honest with you, because of this challenge, this manifesting with music challenge, I am actually going to be creating playlists for each zodiac sign and including it in adding it to the materials. And any future things that I add, you get access to it without having to re-sign up or having to get the product again. You will automatically have access to it. If you are someone who already has this product, you will be getting it automatically. There is nothing for you to do, and that continues. That happens as I add things, as I learn, as I fine-tune my experiences. Anything that I add, once you have the program, the course, you will continue to get the upgrades and added benefits or features that I choose or am guided to add to it. And I'm actually, as I'm talking, I'm thinking about other possible things, like maybe journal prompts. Like I used this like scripts or lyrics for this scripting challenge. I am always kind of an ideas person. So things that come up to me, I might not know ahead of time. And I might just surprise you one day, like, hey, this came to me and this is in your class site now and you have access to it, and enjoy. Because I am very prone to, hey, this is a good idea. I can make this happen really quick and just do it without necessarily giving you any, without planning it, so to speak. So it's not something that you'll know is coming. It might just, you get an email from me one day saying, hey, guess what's in there? Go check it out. I just added this to you or to your class site because I had a dream about it, or I heard someone talking about it, or I thought it was a good idea. That is very definitely my Aries sun nature. That is something that I just do things on the fly. That's how I started my podcast. That's how I started my membership when I had it. It is just like, get the idea and go do it. I have learned, though, through this work with the lunar cycle, when to catch myself and say, okay, it's actually going to distract you. It's actually going to take your energy from something that you are working on right now. So it is definitely this dance of, ooh, idea, can I do it quickly? Or idea, wait, that's going to take too long. And that is definitely a work in progress that I'm working on. Oh, I think I always will be, because of the nature of how Aries shows up in my chart. That is the short and sweet version for today. There is no teaching. It has been my pleasure to share it with you and provide my experiences. So head over to the Moon Manifesting Rockstars Facebook group if you're not yet a part of it. So bye, guys. I will see you soon.